Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari 8-bit games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today's game is Chuckie Egg, which was a 1985 release on Atari 8-bits by A&F Software. The Atari 8-bit version was developed by Sean Townsend. Now, Chuckie Egg is actually a couple of years older than that. It first came out in 1983 and was originally prototyped for ZX Spectrum by its original author Nigel Alderton. It was then ported to BBC Micro by Doug Anderson, who is the A of A&F Software, and to Dragon 32, if anyone remembers that, by Mike Webb, who was an A&F employee. And then various other versions followed over the subsequent years. Chuckie Egg is noteworthy for being widely regarded as a classic, but there's some quite substantial differences between the different platforms' versions of it, primarily with regard to the physics, and these can mostly be attributed to the fact that different people worked on the different versions of them. The Atari 8-bit version is probably one of the lesser known ones in the grand scheme of things, but it's still regarded as a classic of the platform. So let's go play Chuckie Egg. Okay, here we are with Chuckie Egg for Atari 8-bit from 1985, 2 years after its original release on Spectrum, BBC and Dragon 32. So this version was written by S Townsend, and yeah, that's about it basically. There's a comment on the Atari Mania page for this where someone is talking about having played this through to like a level 128 or something, and Mr. Townsend has actually dropped by and said that he never expected anybody to get that far, because the game actually starts looping after a certain point. I think it's after about level 41 or so, it loops back to what is effectively level 33, and the game just continues to loop from that point. I'm nowhere near good enough to get that far, so you won't be seeing that today, but rest assured, that is apparently what happens. Right, let's play. Fire to start, pull back for instructions. H for hold gameplay, as apparently the word pause was not in Mr. Townsend's vocabulary. Escape to restart the game. Select number of players using joystick. So you can play up to 4 players in this. It is turn-based though, so don't get too excited. Right, and here we go. So if you've never come across Chuckie Egg before, your job as Henhouse Harry is to collect all of the eggs from the henhouse while avoiding the unwanted attentions of the young chickens. You'll also notice there's a bird up in the cage in the top left corner. That's nothing to worry about at the moment, but once you complete, I think it's 8 levels, you will then go round the 8 levels that you've just played again, only this time the bird from the cage will have escaped and will be chasing you around. But you won't have to deal with the little chicks who are wandering around as they are at the moment. Then after that, if you finish those 8 levels, you have to contend with the chicks and the mother hen at the same time. And then I think you do it again, but faster. And it's from that point that it starts looping, I believe. Right. Gotta wait for your opportunity and strike. So you notice that there's little handfuls of birdseed you can pick up along the way as well. Those have 2 functions. One, if a chick runs into them, they will eat them and stop moving for a moment, which can be quite useful. But also, if you collect them, you get some extra points, and it also freezes the timer for a moment, which could potentially allow you to get a bigger bonus at the end of a level. So you see both the bonus timer and the main timer freeze when you grab a bit of birdseed. So I remember playing this back in the day, and the ZX Spectrum version was much more well known than this. So when you saw screenshots of Chuckie Egg, it would tend to be of the Spectrum version. And I mean, obviously your own personal taste may vary on this, but I think the graphics on this look much nicer than the Spectrum version. Arguably the sort of oblique perspective on the platforms can make things a little bit confusing at times. But if you actually pay attention to how they're working, Harry is still walking on the flat part of the platform. And so it's not actually that difficult to work things out. It just adds a bit of visual interest to the game as a whole. Right, we want him to go down. No, he's coming this way. All right. There's an element of randomization on how the chicks move, I think. So they're not entirely predictable like they might be in something like, say, Burger Time. Which is the first platform that springs to mind that has a heavy element that involves manipulating enemy behavior, shall we say. Oh no! Oh, that was lucky. I don't think you can die from falling too far in this, which is nice. As anyone who has played platforms from the era will attest, it is a blessed relief when you can play a game like that from this era. So I'm pretty sure we can just leap down there and it's, yeah, there we are, it's fine. And we can jump there, and there we go. On to level 4. So this is a really simple game, but it's had sort of enduring popularity over the years. At least partially because it's so simple, because it's implemented well. The rules are clear and easy to understand. Oh, should have jumped there. It's just a solid implementation of the single screen platform game formula. Oops. First life lost. No, not first life lost, because I've fallen down the pit several times, haven't I? Yeah. First life lost to chicken. You see, there's some actually quite interesting level design going on in some of these stages. I always found the use of those little sort of steps quite interesting. Oh. Because typically platform games would focus on flat platforms, ladders between them, and that was about it. So to have something sort of arranged like a staircase was quite an interesting bit of level design. Ooh, big bonus this time. Very nice. Level 5. The only thing I don't love about this version is that getting off ladders can be a little bit unnecessarily precise at times. Like, Harry really does have to be at the exact correct height on the screen to be able to get off a ladder. Otherwise, just pushing either direction doesn't do anything. Which is a little bit annoying, but you know, you can learn to deal with it. Uh-oh, that might have been stupid. Was that stupid? No, because I can sneak around it. There we go. Beautifully handled. Master of stealth. Uh-oh, this might be a problem. No. No. No, we are maybe good? No, we're not good. We are good. It's fine. Everything's fine. Because he's going to climb that ladder, obviously. Aren't you? Yes. Maybe they are slightly predictable. Huge bonus. Okay, level 6. I was never very good at this as a kid, so whoops. So I'm not sure if I've actually seen this far in the game before, but we shall see. We'll see if I can actually make it around that that initial cycle of 8 levels. That will be exciting. Oh no! That's it's not going to happen if I keep doing that, is it? Right, timing. Careful timing. Incorrect. You'll notice that the timing of the lifts is such that there's always only 2 of them on screen at once. And so if you're struggling to figure out the timings for them, that is how it works. And you can't fall off the bottom of a ladder from the look of things. You also can't grab onto a ladder in flight, I don't think, either. So basically that means I can't get that egg right now unless I do a suicide jump, which I don't want to do. So let's go explore this way. I see why the bonus time is so substantial on this level now. Oh no! Oh no, you got to hit that one No, this was... Oh no! Oh god, that was terrible. Right. At least you don't have to start the whole level over again. Oh! Curses. Right. Careful timing. Strategy. Jump. Missed it again. Oh no! Oh no! It's all over. It's all over. That's disappointing and upsetting. Alright, let's have another go at that. Oh, I've got to put my name in first. Pete. 37,020 points. Let's see if we can beat that. But yeah, as you can probably see, in sort of the grand scheme of things, this is perhaps not an especially remarkable game, but it was just a well-implemented, well-put-together game that played nicely, had some good level designs, was enjoyable, could be shared with friends. So what's not to like? Apart from maybe that screechy jump sound, which I remember not liking when I was a kid. I've always been very sensitive to certain types of sound, and that was one of them. Sounded a little uncomfortably close to screaming for my liking. It's like every time he jumps, he's just going, ah! Maybe he is. Maybe he doesn't like jumping. I mean, I wouldn't like jumping over a gap like that just to pick up some eggs. Imagine if he had to do that on every trip to Waitrose. Oh yes, you can have these eggs, but you must cross the pit of trials before you do so. To be honest, going to the supermarket can feel like crossing the pit of trials at the best of times. Particularly when you are a naturally anxious person, such as myself. But even so. Maybe that's what Chuckie Egg really is. It's an allegorical deconstruction of the anxiety that people feel when attempting to acquire basic necessities. In a world that moves at a pace that is altogether too fast for them. When really they would rather just lock themselves in their house all day and make videos about old Atari games. And when I say they, I of course mean I. But you knew that. Oh, why? Don't land it. Ah! Gosh darn it, henhouse Harry. And up. There we go. And on to the next. Alright, remember hop. Forget that one. There we go. Beautifully done. Uh-oh. That might have been stupid. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Yeah, the more I play, the more convinced I'm becoming that there is a certain predictable element to how they move. It's like... It feels like they sort of change direction a couple of times and then climb a ladder. Ooh. You've got to be careful because you bump off the side of platforms. You bounce off them if you bump into them, rather. Yeah, see, this one in the bottom left, he's walked both ways along the platform, changed direction twice, and then he should climb the... Forget what I said. Maybe if I go up here. No, you're just not going to do it. Fine. Extra life every 10,000 points from the look of things as well. That's nice. That was also a standard for the era. On Atari 8-bit anyway. I don't know if it was the standard for other home computer platforms. It certainly wasn't for arcades, I've discovered over the years. So like I grew up sort of understanding that the standard for getting an extra life in a game was every 10,000 points, but obviously arcade games don't want to be that generous. And so having played a lot of arcade games from this similar period for the first time quite recently, I've discovered that quite a few of them give you your initial extra life relatively late. Often alongside with the default high score if it's a Namco game. And then you maybe get one other extra life in your entire game. So like you might get one at, say, 50,000 points and another at 200,000 points or something like that. Oh no! Because obviously arcade game designers didn't want to provide players with the opportunity to keep playing indefinitely. because that way arcade operators would get annoyed at them because players weren't sort of conforming to that magical 2.5 minute rule. So we talked about that a bit in the Atari A to Z flashback series, where sort of 2 minutes and 16 seconds was regarded to be the optimum amount of time for a game to last, because it was something to do with the screen refresh rate and the amount of time that corresponded to. But it was also regarded as 2.5 minutes, more broadly, was regarded as a good amount of time for a game to last. And this was sort of widely accepted from the look of things. I had the occasion to look at the operator's manual for Toaplan's Tiger Heli recently. And it actually says that outright in the manual. It's like you should aim for typical games to last for 2.5 minutes. And if they don't last for 2.5 minutes, you should fiddle with your dip switch settings until they do last that long. So increase or decrease the difficulty based on the average skill of players in your area. Change the number of lives. All that sort of thing. Because obviously arcade operators wanted to make money. Oops. Slightly over-enthusiastic collision detection there, I think. Yeah, arcade operators obviously wanted... Damn! I'll try that sentence again, shall I? Arcade operators obviously wanted to make money from their games, but they also didn't want to drive people away by the games being so incredibly difficult that no one could ever get anywhere in them. So it was actually quite a fine balancing act between making sure the games didn't last too long and making sure that they lasted long enough. Because no one was going to come back and play a game again if they thought it was unfairly difficult. Oh, having some difficulty with these ones over here. Got it. And go! Was this the level we failed on last time? I think it might be. Oh, I don't like that one there. That's really mean, that one, I guess. Oh, no! Okay, time to get serious. Well, I beat my high score. That's all that matters. Anyway, there's Chuckie Egg for Atari 8-bit. From 1985. As we say, it came out on Spectrum and various other platforms a couple of years beforehand, but it proved so popular that it got ports to all sorts of other platforms, including this one, which is the one that I grew up with. So, we'll leave that there for today. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.